This is British Columbia's Okanagan Lake, one of the most beautiful parts of the world. When we bought a 2-acre property here, we had a vision, a net zero passive house in tune with the surrounding environment and one with nature. I'm Todd Talbot, and this is our family's journey to create a unique vacation home. There's nothing easy about passive home construction. There's nothing easy about building on a cliff either. We're documenting all the drama of home construction with the added scientific challenge of achieving a net zero home. Join me on this journey. Let's explore the future together.
So, I'm here with Todd Talbot, who's best known as co-host on Love It or List It Vancouver, who now you have your own series called Todd Talbot Builds, the Passive House Project, which is actually premiering October 8th exclusively on Cottage Life. So, Todd, can you kind of explain the core principles of passive house building for those who might not be familiar?
Which is most people, including myself when I started down this path a number of years ago. Basically, passive house construction is a kind of scientific model that follows a few principles to try and make a home super energy efficient and more resilient and healthier space to live. So it's trying to move the building industry forward, embracing some newer technology and building styles. So basically, passive house has 5 core principles to it. So super insulated, high performance windows and doors, super airtight, an HRV system, which is the lungs of the building so that the building can breathe, we can have fresh air, and no thermal bridging, which is essentially stopping construction materials bridging from the outside to the inside. So it's relatively straightforward. It's just that the building industry hasn't quite embraced this. It's definitely getting more and more popular, and the building code is going to push us in that direction over the coming years. So it's something that we're going to all embrace, and it's super important because of our changing climate. And, we need to make sure that our houses are safe and can protect us.
What kind of made you initially to go the passive house route rather than just regular building route? What does that mean to you personally?
Well, honestly, the initial motivation for it was to try and be a little bit more sustainable in how we were not only building the house, but also running the house moving forward. And because I didn't even really know what passive house construction was. I'd heard the term and kind of like most people had kind of made up what it was. I started with this idea of net zero. I wanted our house to be net zero or net positive. And really that's just about producing more energy than we use. But then it seemed like there was a piece missing in that we wanted to incorporate more of a high performance building model that supported this net zero. So these two pieces kind of came together, and then the light bulb went off and I got obsessed about the idea about it and really wanted to kind of try this and learn through building this house. And that's what I ended up doing for 3 years. I built this place.
Yeah, we kind of see a little bit in the first episode. Obviously losing your home to the wildfire must have been such an emotional journey. How did that kind of experience impact your perspective on sustainable building practices or just passive house building?
It's ironic to a certain degree that we were intending to build a home that was designed to be resilient against these types of things. Now, this fire was moving so quickly and was so strong and hot that, I don't know if the house was 100% complete, whether it would have been able to kind of ward off this fire. But it really makes me feel that we were on the right track. And I think that I'm currently doing a passive house retrofit on our home in Vancouver. And I firmly believe in the direction and the building style of this. And I think it's made me double down even more as opposed to kind of rethink my attitudes about it.
No, for sure. Would you say, because obviously you have a background as a realtor, do you think that kind of influenced your approach to building your own home?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a long history of building as well. I've built our home and renovated a number of homes, and I love doing that. And I've done it in kind of one way for so many years, and definitely shifted. Being on Love It or List It and seeing so many houses about how they're built and what people think is important and what makes them more attractive to people, all of those elements really played into me trying to kind of rethink about where our priorities should be in terms of how we build and how we renovate.
What kind of like messages do you kind of hope to convey through Todd Talbot Builds, the Passive House project? Like, what do you want your viewers to kind of take away from the series?
That's a great question. No one has asked me that question yet. A couple things. When I first started this series, because we filmed a lot of it before the fire happened, and it was never intended to be the final, the final episode. We were hoping to have this great reveal. So part of it is to just really inspire people to take a look at kind of where we're headed and some choices that they might be able to incorporate in their build or their renovation, and do it in a way that's aspirational. So super cool architecture, an A-frame pinned to the side of this rock on a cliff, and make it accessible to people so that we kind of like demystify some of this stuff. So that was kind of one thing. With the fire, I think what people will get from it is a family going through a journey that is super authentic. And, I'm proud about how it was put together. We are not the only ones to go through this. Obviously, there's a lot of other people. 191 homes were lost in the fire that we were in. And this is happening all across the country, and around the world for that matter. So I'm hoping that people are reminded that we need to pay attention to how we're building, where we're building, and things are changing, and we're going to need to incorporate that in how we build.
Actually, just kind of going off of that, like, do you have any advice to or give to others that are interested in building their own sustainable homes?
Oh, another great question. So a couple resources that I have used. There's a great website called Passive House Accelerator, and it explains passive house construction. I go there and double check things. There's also a great article about our build and all sorts of things related to high performance building on Passive House Canada. And I'm sure there's tons of other resources out there. But yeah, there's this kind of niche group of people that are the momentum is definitely building, and the accessibility to some of these products and stuff like that you can use. Instead of using poly on the inside of your wall, using a high performance building material that is not that much more expensive, but it performs so much better, makes your health so much healthier. And it's just a matter of people understanding that it's even a choice that they could make, or to ask their contractor about it.
No, that's really cool. I'm like, I think when I build my home, I mean, that's definitely something I want to look at for sure. So Todd, just to kind of wrap up things here. So here we're all about going the extra mile. So my question to you is, how do you go the extra mile? I mean, obviously you have such a big, long background of lots of different things you've done in your life. So yeah, how would you go the extra mile, whether it be in your personal life, professional life, or?
I think going the extra, when you say that, what comes to mind first is integrity. So this integrity to yourself and to what how you're behaving in the world and your actions, I think at least push me to go that extra mile. And I think it's a great example of the home that we built and kind of showcased through this series is taking all of these little components and being so particular and detailed about it. You really do need to go the extra mile in order to kind of hit those targets that you're intending. And it's a commitment, and it's very interesting and challenging, and I think rewarding at the end of the day. So there's my answer.
That's a great answer. Well, listen, Todd, thank you so much for your time. Again, the series comes out October 8th. I'm really excited for everyone to watch, and hope you have a fantastic time at the Cottage Life show. Yes, that's right.